Hello and welcome to another day of StarLadder Season 6. It is day number 21 and we'll see 4 games today. We will start off with seeing Alliance taking on TCM Gaming. After that we'll have Alliance taking on Virtus Pro, Fnatic versus Quantic, and last but not least it is Virtus Pro again and then up against Rock's Kiss. First though, this game, Alliance versus TCM, of course for today, will be a 3-man team, providing you with all the coverage that you need. You'll be having stats provided by K-poptosis, and you won't hear him, but you'll see what he does inside the game client as well as on the stream. And of course the one that you will hear, it is my co-caster, it is Kanaz. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Good to have you back. And what are you expecting for this game? Because, I mean, on paper, Alliance will take this.
Yeah, I think no one would really doubt that Alliance are the favorites in this particular match. TCM though, Hawaii OO, was in your chat before the start of this game. He said they're going to have a loss going into that Virtus Pro match. They'll have an extra loss. So he's feeling pretty confident even though they have a stand in this game. But yeah, it's not really surprising that Alliance would be the favorites for this game, and if TCM end up going down, I don't think anyone would be, amazed by any means. But TCM, they can put up a fight as well. We usually see them go a little bit. We've seen a lot of Phantom Lancer, I feel like, from them, and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. So we'll see if they go with something like that this game, or if they try something else.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that they have maybe something prepared in terms of one of those pocket strats. You just try and throw Alliance off their guard and finish the game before Alliance know what's really up. So that's my hope. They already pick up a chance, so we might see some early game aggression from TCM. Of course, TCM, they have had some nice results in StarLadder as well. Who did they beat last Thursday? They beat a pretty strong team then. I will have to look that up in a moment. But we have seen them do well. It was Go Audio that is actually, he's holding the record of most farmed hero ever since since TI2. Actually, they beat Empire. That was who they beat. Although we have to say that Empire was not looking all too strong.
Yeah, that's beating Empire doesn't always. They're really inconsistent right now. Sometimes they play pretty well and they're looking okay, and sometimes they play really, really, really poorly. Yeah. So it's hard to really tell whether or not beating Empire means too much at the moment. Just until they kind of find what they want to be doing again, ever since their kind of roster issues. Yeah. But we see a Vengeful Spirit pick really early in the draft from TCM.
Yeah, we've had a lot of extra Vengeful Spirits pick up lately. Of course, with the patch notes and Vengeful Spirit just being an extra sturdy support, if you will, and highly favored. But I don't think we've seen her in the first 2 picks yet. Very interesting to note. I mean, Gyrocopter, for example, is still in the pool. All the carries are still in the pool. We've got only bans for the Drow Ranger, by the way, Lone Druid and Lifestealer, but still a lot of different options in the pool. And Keeper of Light, Nature's Prophet, and Chen and Vengeful Spirit picked up as the first 4. Interesting, because those are not the real high priority targets that we used to see.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty strange that we're seeing like Chen, Venge picked up first from TCM. Alliance going with some pretty more commonplace picks with the Keeper Light and the Nature's Prophet, but their bans are also somewhat unusual, banning out Draw Ranger in this second ban phase. TCM.
Oh, you have to turn on your microphone in game client.
Always forget.
It's so early. 5 hours of sleep will do that to you.
I wish it were 5 hours. It was less than that. Yeah, so these bans are looking pretty usual from TCM and unusual from Alliance, and I guess it's because TCM are drafting unusual and Alliance are drafting usual. So we'll see exactly what TCM continue going for, if they got something in mind for the Vengeful Spirit and Chen picks. It looks like maybe they were Alliance were thinking they were going to go some really aggressive push strategy, maybe with the Drow for stacking auras, or even Juggernaut just to use the healing ward. Maybe that's what they're thinking with those bans. And we'll have to see if exactly TCM have a plan.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, there's plenty of auras still in the pool if they wanna indeed go for that aura strat. If you want to go for a pushing strat, and the Nature's Prophet is already on the other side as well as a Keeper of Light, it's gonna be tough without a healing ward from the Juggernaut. So interested to see what they will be picking up next. As one thing that we have to keep in mind is that TCM is also a team of Swedes, and lately I've been feeling like Swedes are the best Swede killers. If that makes sense.
So you're saying the Swedish teams are the best at beating other Swedish teams?
Yeah, I think they know more about the way that other Swedish teams think. It might be bullcrap, I don't know. But
well,
that's how I
Swedish,
feel it.
when two Swedish teams play off, one Swedish team always has to win.
Yes.
5 seconds remaining.
At least they'll know how... never mind, different topic. Magnus picked up by Alliance, so X4 will be able to play his signature hero unless... No, S4 will be playing his signature hero. Never mind that. I'm leaving you to talk right now because you ruined my point. I can't hear you. Are you talking?
Oh no, my mic got muted.
Ah,
Whoop.
I was worried there.
I was talking and I was like, what? Magnus played by Alliance a ton. S4 obviously plays a great Magnus. He's won probably a billion games with that hero. Of course, Alliance win a lot, so maybe they just look really good with any hero. But definitely a hero that they play a lot and they play very well. Clockwork, though, picked up immediately by TCM and one of the better heroes against Magnus, so looks like that was... I'm not sure if that was their plan or if it was reactionary just to the Magnus. But either way, Clockwork, a pretty powerful pick. A little bit less good nowadays, but nothing on the side of Alliance at the moment that has a BKB like effect or a hero that would pick up BKB naturally, except for maybe Magnus in the much later game. So that nerf to Clockwork doesn't matter too much at the moment, with it not pushing back heroes with BKB anymore, but can be pretty relevant for Magnus later in the game if you're trying to rely on the Clockwork as shutting down the Magnus. And then that Bounty Hunter pick is pretty aggressive and not something we see a ton of anymore.
No, it also means mid-game aggression, and which is kind of interesting. Like, they've got this Clockwork that you already pointed out. He is one with the level 6 ability that can create kills on the map. He'll probably be going in the mid lane, as you set, up against that Magnus.
5 seconds
But
remaining.
I don't know how well the killing potential of TCM is. It will all depend on that carry. What type of carry it is. Alliance also not having one just yet. We'll probably see them getting banned out. Some carries that they don't want to be facing. Maybe still Keeper of the Light, which is of course still in the pool. Alliance, Keeper of Light, Phantom Lancer that is, because Alliance have got that Keeper of Light. So the potential is definitely there. And they have a lineup that can turtle very well. With Illuminates and Treants and Shockwaves and Fates Bolts and anything that Rubik can steal. I mean, if he steals Flares or Wave of Terrors, Howl of Terrors. Also a very good counter push spell. It is very easy for Alliance to hold on for a long time, and even if TCM does get into the base of Alliance, there's always an RP waiting for you, and Phantom Lancer can still deal out some damage in the mid game. And right now TCM, they don't really have anything for themselves that can pump out that damage, as we have a Gyrocopter still getting banned here. Let's see if TCM wants to ban out the Phantom Lancer, or if they rather, or well, if they're gonna risk it rather.
Well, with how sort of aggressive their team is looking at the moment, they might not be super afraid of Phantom Lancer just because he usually doesn't do much in the game until a little bit later in, and they might be planning on going something pretty aggressive with this kind of lineup. Also, Doppelwalk becomes a lot less reliable when you have a Bounty Hunter, just because you'll always pretty much be revealed. You kind of expect him to always be able to track you in the middle of the fight, assuming that the player is paying pretty close attention. They're actually going to ban Alchemist. That is probably a better ban, all things considered, just because he can go aggressive a little bit.
I am here. Calling co-casters right now. Hello?
Hello.
That was my whole ISP internet thingy dropping altogether.
That was bad.
Fun. It is bad, but it's back now. But who knows for how long. I had troubles yesterday. I called and I fixed it, but apparently they didn't fix it good enough. So my internet fell out completely. But I'm now back So yeah, welcome back, people. Sorry there, streaming 2 minutes. You'll hear from this, and you can flame me for my ISP. But yeah, let's go over what happened with the draft. I'm sure you already did that as well. But for people that weren't in Dota TV, we have got EGM sitting on the Rubik 4 Alliance. Loda playing his Phantom Assassin. That is the carry of his choice. We have S4 on the Magnus. Nature's Prophet played by Admiral Bulldog. As whoa, 85% all-time playing with Magnus. Son of Magnus that he is.
That's an insane win rate.
That's a very insane win rate indeed. And Aki was the Keeper of Light. That's the last one for Alliance. As we see Blueberry Ninja sitting at a pretty dangerous spot. He is going to try to do this. We've seen, actually, I think we've seen maybe even Blueberry Ninja do this before as well. The last time that he did that though, he died.
Yeah, it's very risky, and now he's kind of in a weird position. He's dust. He actually dodged the dust, so he'll be perfectly fine unless they know where he is.
If they place another word, they'll find him.
Yep. I'll hurry up and go over TCM's players though. We're gonna Blueberry Ninja up in that top lane. Unfortunately for him, that dust from EGM is on cooldown, or he'd be in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah.
Mid lane, going to be the stand-in Miranda Kerr playing the Clockwork Goblin. Bottom lane, we're going to have Hawaii on the support Chen in the jungle, and Atzi going to be on the Vengeful Spirit currently pulling. And their final pick was actually Anti-Mage. So they did go for a hard carry. They were showing a lot of signs like they might want to go something pretty aggressive with this lineup. And then they pick a hard carry at the very end. So now they're kind of in a position where it felt maybe like Alliance were trying to counterpick the push a little bit. And Go Audio, as a result, is going to be on someone who's just going to farm away. Basically complete free farm, and we'll see how it ends up working out for them if they're able to get a lot of money, and if the anti-mage can really get pretty far ahead of the Phantom Assassin, because as the game goes on, Phantom Assassin is going to do way more damage than Go Audio on this anti-mage.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see, because was the plan of TCM always like bait them into thinking we're gonna push? Oh, Bulldog. Might be in a bit of trouble. T lands a stun. Here comes the Centaur as well. Gets a stun off as well. Is there enough damage? I think it is. Go Audio comes in for the last hit, blinks himself over the tree line. And the first blood goes the way of Go Audio. Nicely done for TCM.
Yeah, good first blood for them to get that kill there. And they gave it to Go Audio as well. He blinks forward for that, obviously. Only last hit, does no damage beyond it. But you know, he gets first blood and it helps him out quite a bit. He needs to be ahead of this Phantom Assassin to get involved in the game. And that's the kind of thing that helps get you there. Early kills.
Yep, you get yourself ahead. Make sure you're bigger before the Phantom Assassin is big, as Blueberry Ninja is actually already level 3. So in the end, that little stunt he pulled did get him a lot of levels. And that makes a big difference, because we can compare him to Bulldog, and he is still level 1. And he might actually die again. Gets a magic missile. Looks like he will be able to run past this tier 2, but TCM, they're pushing hard on this tier 1 bottom here. Oh,
yeah, they're already trying to change towers, it looks like, but Aki gonna be here, and they really can't push into this, at least not very effectively.
Well, they do force someone away from Blueberry Ninja. There is still Sentry Ward down, so he has to be careful, but as long as he can hide and get experience, he is fine. And of course now, all of a sudden, Bulldog has to share experience with the Keeper of Light. On the bright side, he can stand closer so he can actually get experience to begin with. So I guess this is a good swap, because I don't think it makes a difference for the top lane all that much. Apart from killing potential might be a bit gone, but looks like they weren't gonna try it again after that first missed smoke slash already placed a second ward. Anyway, so yeah, good rotation, Aki though. Gonna rotate back. At least for middle, maybe he can do something there. In the meantime, Clockwork Miranda Kerr sitting on 15-6, and S4 sitting at a solid 20-5.
Yeah, S4 getting the best of last hits. It's a melee versus melee matchup where things are a lot more even. Magnus doesn't struggle maybe as much as he would against other heroes, but he's also just kind of heavily outlast hitting the Clockwork.
Yeah, both heroes, I guess, having a level 6 ability that will allow them to be more active. So whoever gets level 6 first, we'll see if that person actually is also able to get the first kill of the two heroes. Then, of course, the first kill already on the board. In the meantime, Blueberry Ninja, also someone that we have to watch out for getting level 6, because when he has that, he can also rotate and try to create kills. As well, of course, the kills that he creates are going to be worth more than the kills that Alliance can create.
Yeah, if he can roam and get some very effective ganks early on, it could be great for him and his team to get those track kills and again help accelerate Anti-Mage's farm quite a bit. But oh, actually, Rubik.
Whoa. Bounty Hunter goes invisible.
Dire's bottom tower is under
That was just
attack.
Janata harassing a Shuriken level 2.
Dire's bottom tower
And Rubik
has
ends up
fallen.
dropping. Level 3. Extra experience to Blueberry Ninja.
Yeah, and that helps him get level 6 even sooner, getting those solo kills, and he picks up an Orb of Venom now for harass.
Oh, Cogs in for S4, looking for that RP, gets it as well. Illuminate flies over, gets the kill, but in comes TCM. Can they get the kill? Yes, they can. That range creep. He got the last hit. Hawaii, though, telekinesis up on him. Aki looking for a couple of hits, but a Fate Bolt from EGM will finish off that Chen. In the end, a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Alliance. Solo mid taken down by Alliance. In return for and a solo mid and in support.
Radiant's middle
Yeah,
tower
good
is
TP
under
reaction
attack.
coming out from Alliance there. EGM, I guess it's fortunate that he died, because otherwise he wouldn't have had that TP scroll to be able to come in. But yeah, it works out for them. They end up getting the lift and the kill on Chen. And of course Clockwork just not having a very good time getting RP'd by S4 and then skewered back to a tower.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the
Dire's
first kill on the
bottom
board
tower is under attack.
for S4. As well, he is pretty close to. Well, he has his mana boots already. He's doing really nice on the farm actually. He has highest on net worth. No, actually third. Wow, Anti-Mage really. He was of course able to take that tower down in the end, even with the fortification going off. But TCM looking strong with that Anti-Mage right now.
Yeah, Go Audio has gotten a tower as well as First Blood, so that's pretty powerful for him. A lot of early gold. He's already got his Ring of Health, with almost 1,000 gold beyond it. So it won't be too long if he can keep this farm pace up before he gets something that Battle Fury.
In the meantime, we also have Blueberry Ninja sitting at level 6. He hasn't left his lane just yet. I'm thinking he is gonna do it soon though. Because he kind of needs to. He can't win the lane. Well, in theory, he can't win the lane up against the Templar Phantom Assassin. Though he already, of course, got one kill on the support. Now with his track, he needs to make track kills happen for his team. And they need to be buying time for that Anti-Mage. And maybe in the meantime also, of course, reducing the time that the Phantom Assassin gets for farming. Oh, Haste Rune activated by Magnus. He's looking for a support. Atsi will be able to hide. Oh, will still be found. There comes a stun. Here comes a hook shot in. S4 in a lot of trouble, screws himself up, but it's too late. Test of faith from Hawaii. Gets a kill in the end. Overextension all the way from S4. And talking about overextension, Blueberry Ninja, he tried it as well, overextending that is, but he actually gets away with it. He gets a kill on the Nature's Prophet who was taking Sanctuary in the jungle. He is, of course, still level 4. And Blueberry Ninja was able to take a solo track kill from that.
Yeah, Blueberry Ninja is doing a great job in this top lane. Are you saying he should? You're saying he should rotate, but if he's doing this well, he's able to disrupt what's going on in this top lane and get kills for himself. He can get a lot of levels up very quickly, and those can be very powerful for him. He has no invis though.
Radiant's
Loda
top
doing
tower is under
harass.
attack.
Won't be able to get the kill. Maybe just hoping for a lucky
Radiant
crit.
structures are
Oh, you
fortified.
might get it. Well, there's the invis. Close though. I mean, to be fair, you're right. If he can continue getting these kills like this, Bounty Hunters are actually pretty decent semi-carries. With high burst with a Janata from coming out of stealth. That's a pretty good deal if they get it going, that is. Because he needs to be continuing to get kills or otherwise helping his team with getting track kills.
Radiant's
And right
top
now he
tower
is...
under attack.
He was just waiting for the experience, of course, to
Dire's
come in and then he'll
bottom
be
tower is
forced
under
back.
attack.
He'll be TPing back. In the meantime, the tier 1 tower might be in some danger of dying, which would put Loda back on the map. Loda, who still has a very nice high net worth, but of course behind
Radiant's top
the Anti-Mage.
tower
Well,
has
at
fallen.
least it was behind the Anti-Mage until Loda actually picked up the tower just now. So he gets himself back on top in terms of last hits for Go Audio, sitting on 56 to 8.
Dire's middle tower
Oh,
is
blink
under
in.
attack.
Aki tries to TP out. Manifold will interrupt with TP, and that's a solo kill for Go Audio. So Loda and Go Audio really going toe to toe here. 64 for 16 on the last hits for Loda as he gets a crit up on Blueberry Ninja. Telekinesis will be there as well. Careful, they just Prophet TPing it as well. The dust was there, and one more hit needed. There we go. Loda also with a kill. Though he had to share experience, of course. Another nice kill going to a carry. In the meantime, on the mid lane, Magnus goes down again. Both teams keeping the action rolling here.
Yeah, both teams are trying
Radiant's top
pretty
tower
hard
is
to
under
get
attack.
whatever advantage they can. Maybe overstaying the Pokemon a little bit there. Blueberry Ninja. He was low on HP and mana for quite some time at that point,
Yeah.
and ends up just going down. But Go Audio ports up to the top lane actually to farm up there. This is a pretty aggressive TPing from Animage early on. Clockwork gets a kill on Rubik and Midland.
Yeah, he got a cogs off and there was no escape for EGM. Miranda Kerr getting himself second kill of the game, has been in 4 out of the 8 kills. And gold per minute is 140 points higher than the average GPM, and of course Tower and First Blood do really help with that, but it's still quite nice to see that he actually is doing so well. I think, I mean, there was a 27% that actually went for TCM in terms of favoring which team. And I think right now TCM is showing that those 27% were definitely deserved, and maybe even more, because they are holding their own so far. They still have an anti-mage really nicely farming, and we all know what anti-mages can do if they get that farm up, as Blueberry Ninja is looking for maybe another pickup, gets a track. Oh, he has to be so careful though. I mean, there's 4 people around there. They dust, don't find him. Blueberry Ninja does get himself a bit of well, he baited out some gold, I guess, from EGM. But he has to be very careful because they now know what his plans are.
Yeah, and if he can bait those dusts out repeatedly, it's very good for him. They have a sentry ward sitting in the middle lane, so he has to be careful if he tries to gank towards that mid lane. But every time he baits out a dust, that's just 90 gold off of a support completely dead, as well as a cooldown. And it's usually been only EGM actually carrying the dust, so the cooldown is also very relevant if he manages to check everyone's inventory, which is not always the easiest. And see that only one person's actually carrying the dust, so when it's on cooldown, they can't actually spot him out with that anymore. They'd have to use sentry wards, and sentry wards not very effective in spawning hunter.
Yeah, so if he baits it out, that's a very strong thing. If he doesn't get hit by it, obviously. Blueberry Ninja, I mean, in terms of last hits and such, he doesn't do that well. He is only sitting on 13-3, but he's got phase boost, he's got a poor man's shield. I'm really curious to see what his build here will be. In terms of net worth, he is actually below the Nature's Prophet, but that's because of the Hand of Midas that Bulldog was able to pick up. Oh, rotating, stun, S4 in some trouble, Wave of Terror. Are they gonna dive that? No, they are not. They're just backing off. Goadio was too far away to try and help out. They might try to take a tower, but they already forced out a rotation, so that's not gonna be happening anymore. EGM and Aki will make sure that they are there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Magic Missile has like the slowest movement speed of any stun ever, it feels like most of the time. So S4, once he saw them coming, was able to start the skewer, get back before the stun actually landed on him. And at that point, he's out of the fight, and they can't really dive the tower with 2 supports on aim. They're not going to be able to burst him down fast enough to begin with. So rotation can come, and he has RP, and RPing 2 supports on a tower, that might be 2 kills for him very easily, and then things look terrible very quickly for TCM.
You can't risk that in a game like this. Not if you're still waiting for Antimage to get a bit bigger, and of course, even if he got that RP up, maybe Antimage would be there as well, and TP's in. You just, yeah, you can't risk that. In the meantime, S4 also can't really risk trying to throw his life away though, because he is very close to a Blink Dagger. Just needs about 150 gold, and he'll have it. And that might make a change of pace on the map, as we have Blueberry Ninja still sitting top. This time though, he has got some support coming in. He has got Miranda Kerr, who actually is walking back again. It was kind of obvious that he walked past the creep wave thinking to go for something, as we saw the blink strike away from Loda, just to make sure that he was out safe.
They also have that ward near their ancient in the mid lane. He walked right past that, so they knew he was coming up there. And he threw a rocket flare to try and scout out. There were a lot of signs that Clockwork was going up that top lane for Loda. Just tend to back off, doesn't need to force the issue. But Blink Dagger finished by S4 now, and that's pretty likely considering he tried a couple times. 3 times actually.
That's actually quite a lot. There is 8 kills up on TCM. It is 8 for 3, obviously. It's looking pretty okay for TCM. I'm still kind of fearing the moment when Nature's Prophet is actually starting to split push when he gets his Shadow Blade, because that will be a moment that we'll have to watch out for TCM. They basically only have that Anti-Mage and the ganking. That's their thing. Anti-Mage still building towards his Battle Fury. He has got treads. He's almost got his Battle Fury, just a couple hundred gold needed, and he'll have it, and he'll be able to flash farm. The question is, how long does he then take to be ready to actually start joining fights? And you know, as you already said, they need to at some point start fights, because Phantom Assassin, you don't want to be fighting up against her when she is big.
Yeah, Phantom Assassin not the easiest matchup. Anti-Mage, just he's good against magic damage. He's not usually so good against lots of physical damage. Phantom Assassin can do burst physical damage very quickly with the attack speed from Phantom Strike and the crit damage from coup de grace. So you have to be kind of worried about that if you're anti-mage. He's actually porting to the mid lane, so might be helping his team push there, which is somewhat surprising, as the gank is actually moving towards the bottom lane from Alliance, looking for him.
Yeah, I don't know if I should like it or not. He does blink into the dire jungle to take away the farm from Bulldog, so that might help a bit. But yeah, that is two supports rotating bottom, or a support and a carry and a solo mid rather. S4 and Aki coming bottom to try and help out Loda, who was farming there. They should be able to take the tower down. That is something. Aki already TV'd back. S4 also realizing that nobody is there, so needing to defend our tier 1 tower.
Yep, and they're forced to just TP back, but EGM able to steal blink from anti-mage, which is like the easiest spell in the world to steal, because anti-mage is 2 spells, 1's ultimate. So blink, a very powerful spell for EGM to have on that Rubik, makes him being able to blink in steal spells in Tide of Teamfight very, very easy by comparison.
Oh, and he blinks in and he dusts 1 crit. This is what Loda uses to finish off Blue Bear Ninja on his Bounty Hunter. Nicely done. And of course he walked past that ward, so they knew he was there. In the meantime though, tier 1 mid is still under pressure from TCM. Anti-Mage has started to farm again. He is now on the bottom lane once more, so his kind of excursion to mid didn't really end up working out. He delayed his Battle Fury for it. He now has it though, but it's still not something that is very easy. And he actually has Loda right on top of him, but he really wants a tower. He gets a tower, he blinks away, TP's out. And Loda cannot do anything against that because he doesn't have anything that interrupts that TP.
Yeah, not a ton that a Phantom Assassin can really do, you're pointing out, except to continue trying to attack you and hope to get lucky with a crit and just kill you. Otherwise, I mean, it's potential that we could see Loda with a basher eventually, but not this early in the game, so just able to get away. And that's another tower kill for Go Audio, and finishes his Battle Fury. Both towers that TCM have taken at this point.
Yeah, TCM, they really want this middle tower. Fortification goes up. Centaurs, actually, they lose a Centaur and they lose a Troll. It's not really worth it. Hawaii will have to go back into the jungle and find some creeps. They had some good creeps there. Of course, the one with the net to just lock someone down. Ends up that Alliance does still use dust under their tower just to see if someone was there. The Bounty Hunter is all the way farming in the small camp on the Radiant jungle. They still want to go in though. The swap goes. It is Ati that takes a lot of damage. Hand of God going through. Stun will hit upon Loda and a send home from Chen. Ati will be safe. Loda not so lucky. The track is there. He should be able to blink himself away, and he does do that successfully. 99 HP. But he'll live. Nobody dies here in this mid lane, even though a lot of spells were used. In the meantime, S4 still sitting with an Invis rune. I was hoping that TCM would dive as the flare still hits up on Loda. Nicely done. And track stolen by EGM. That's a big steal.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, huge steal for him to get. And Blue Brain Ninja running forward right into a Sentry Ward, so they all back up, but he gets a track off on his spot. And that was a great rocket flare from the stand-in Miranda Care to get that kill on Loda. It was also a track kill, but no one was around. But just getting the kill on Phantom Assassin, always a huge thing, especially Gaudio. He's just far and away in the bottom lane now.
Yeah, and of course, as we just saw, those track kills, they mean like an average of 2100 gold per game. That's actually quite a huge deal, because not all of that goes to carries. Carries might be in a bit less deal, but it also goes to supports, and supports really need that extra gold. And if you pick up a Bounty Hunter, you pick him up because of the track. Now, if you have a Rubik that seals the track, that means that your entire reason to pick Bounty Hunter is already countered with that one spell seal. So really nicely done for EGM to actually get that. As we have some nice Ancient stacked for Loda here. Look at him trying to take these down. It's very tough though. He doesn't have... Well, he has got, of course, the Overpower, so that's great. Empower, rather. But it's not going that fast, and the flare comes in. They know that it's being done. But they are not gonna go in with it. Loda sitting out on 1400 gold already. It's got a Yasha. Oh, they are going in. They smoked up. Here comes another flare. They find Loda looking for the hook shot. There it goes! Perfect hit! The Skura is still gonna be there to help Loda get away. Slow is there as well. Go Audio jumps himself into the trees, goes for a Mana Void, doesn't get a kill with it. The stun leads up on the Magnus. He has still got that RP though. Net goes there. There goes the Shockwave, ends up going down. That's a track kill going the way of TCM, and another hook shot. Guess Aki. Aki doesn't have a Skura out, so he'll die. Double kill in the end for Miranda. They don't get Loda though, but they get 2 other kills, so still quite nice, and they should maybe even be able to take down the Ancients that was still standing there.
Yeah, very, 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 very good fight for TCM. They take another 2 kills, and that Clockwork with the Aghanims pickup working wonders for them thus far. On Loda actually, but gonna miss. Just TCM playing pretty well at this point, and Bulldog gonna snipe the courier. Needs one, gets it.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Ah, that's nice. What was on it? What was on it?
It was
Nothing.
on its way back.
It was on its way back. Yeah. So that's a blessing in disguise, I guess, for TCM. I don't hear you. You still? I'm not dropping frames right now. Can you reconnect into the call?
Yeah, I can try that.
It will work. Because otherwise, you might be hearing a Marshman soon. I didn't see that stat, but I bet you did. Oh, and he lands another Orchid, gets another Keeper of Light. Telekinesis there in time though, and EGM with the save. Double damage rune and the extra speed from the track though. Maybe he could still do something. Ends up not going for it. Has, of course, got that Aghanims looking for some mana to cast it again. He does get it, and he gets again S4. But he scores out. This time takes Miranda with him. Track goes off as well. Nature's Prophet Ultimate bouncing through. Guardia was able to blink himself forward as well. And they will be able to pick up the tower. And Team H with the last hit on the tower as well. So he is getting pretty fat. He is 1.2k gold ahead of Loda right now. And welcome back, Kanaz.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yes, a lot better.
Alright, I don't know what the issue is. I was running ping test and it looks like my connection is fine. Who knows? As long as it's good now, everything is, yeah, Skype just being weird. Oh, Go Audio, farming away, he gets another tower last hit, he still hasn't died, which is very relevant at this point, because Loda has died.
Twice.
And he's been around for some of those track kills. So this is going very well for TCM, and if Go Audio can keep farming, they can get pretty far ahead before Loda's really able to do too much. He's already got a Yasha of his own picked up though. We'll see if it's going to be the battle or Manta style, or if he's going to go something like Sanjin Yasha, which is nice. He seems
solo
to like.
RP for Blue Bear Ninja. He knows that they're there. Dust gets popped. They still get him in the end. Maybe there was a chance he would get away, but not with that dust there. And Alliance take themselves at least a kill. I mean, we have seen TCM, they've been starting to push, right? They've been sitting with 5 to 4 people, and even Anti-Mage still sitting in the mid as sometimes as well. It's just starting pushing, and yet Alliance has not been able to get in those team fights. And they can, like they should be able to. They have a Magnus, it's their thing. But TCM actually slightly outmaneuvering them to make sure that doesn't happen. And a big factor is Miranda Courier, as we see Rubik still going down. Go Audio with, well, with the kill. Swap in. Oh, Loda in some trouble. Do they have another lockdown is the question. There is another hookshot up on Miranda if he wants to go for it. Gets scored closer towards Loda. Doesn't really want to do that. Walks back. Gets a shockwave to send him on his way. In the meantime though, the tier 2 tower taking a lot of damage here. And no RP because it already got used up on the bounty hunter. Loda jumps himself in again. He has to be very careful. He can't fight yet. He doesn't have the power.
Yeah, it's a very strange game when you see Anti-Mage getting involved in fights and feel like Phantom Assassin can't. Anti-Mage, definitely a hero that needs a lot of farm, but he's got his Manta style, so he can just throw those illusions at things and hope that they work out. They get killed there. But Loda just doesn't really have too much yet. Sitting a full 2,500 gold at this point behind. He's got his Manta style picked up too, and going in on Miranda Kerr.
Yeah, it would be a big pickup. He has been the one to constantly set up these ganks that TCM has been able to get. Those hook shots of him just spot on every single time, and now with him down, maybe Alliance can do something here. Maybe they can finally take down the tower, last tier 1 tower of their own, and they should be able to do this quite securely. TCM no shape to fight back without Miranda Kerr. And maybe Roche shot even too. Bulldog already sitting in the Roche pit there.
Yep, and essentially we're gonna throw TCM, or Blueberry Ninja rather, up on top of that cliff, but it's not one of the ones he gets stuck at. He should be aware that EGM was wandering around there. We'll see if they think maybe he's going for Roche, but EGM was able to steal Invis, so he can just stand out here and safe scout, and it should be a free Roshan.
Yeah, oh, the dust get popped. Blueberry Ninja is here, scored back towards the team, and he is already dead before the fight starts. And that would send TCM running because they can't really fight. They want to have those track kills. They just profit though. He TP's in, wants to go for Hawaii perhaps. No, he cancels his TP, but Hawaii is still gonna get slowed. EGM chasing him down. That should be one Chen down. Might also be one Clockwork down as he gets telekinesis. S4. He actually has got an RP, but the hook shot away. Nicely done. Gets himself out alive. Does set up a tier 2 tower to go down though on the side of TCM and Alliance.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
All of a sudden, just because one pickup, they get themselves ahead. Gold graph that was in favor of TCM for a long time. Was in favor for 5,000 gold, actually is now back towards that 0 line and will drop below it in favor of Alliance. Experience graph, same story there. Exactly the same story actually. Making nice jumps actually, looking funny.
Yep, when TCM were taking big team fights, they were starting to build up a pretty decent lead. And now we're shut down and they've lost a couple heroes several times. It starts to fall back towards Lance, and it's pretty close to dead even now. Anti-Mage still out farming Loda a little bit, but Loda has an Aegis. And of course, Anti-Mage does not. So we'll see what Godaudio can do about it. He's probably going for either Butterfly or Heart next. Butterfly very, very effective against the Phantom Assassin until PA can pick up an MKB. And Loda has a lot of money, so an MKB could be in the future for him, just in case he's predicting.
Yeah, actually, still, whenever I hear very effective, I hear like, Butterfly, it's super effective. I can't help it. I can't help myself. It's really stupid. But oh well. I would just want to point out, I really like the way that fast Aghanims has been working out for him around, as he actually is going for Blade Mill right now, which is normally the thing that you see up on a Clockwork, but it's working out amazingly well. The only downside is that one time he got picked off, the Alliance was able to get a lot in return for that one kill, as they actually have got two smokes rather, in their bag, so we might see something being done here by Alliance, as they will be taking down the Ancients probably before that, or maybe not even. Maybe they're just gonna smoke, waiting for the last one to arrive, which is EGM, who has got a Shadow Walk actually. He doesn't really need to be in the smoke. Assuming that they are gonna go for the smoke.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're all standing there like they were thinking about it. And then they're not.
Oh, well, maybe they're waiting for the side of Vice, because Bullock now has that one. I think they're going still for the smoke, but no. Yeah,
I think they were just ready to watch Loda farm some Ancients to split the experience around while he's got the Empower on him, so he does a lot of damage. And we see him already critting for over 1,000. This is kind of the issue that Anti-Mage is going to face, trying to sort of be relevant in this game.
Yep.
Loda doesn't need damage items to do damage. Anti-Mage really does need damage items to do damage. Or at least a lot of attack speed, and just hope that, I guess, the opponents have a ton of mana so that you can rely on mana burn. And Loda's actually going for a Basher. So with that pickup, he probably wants to finish the Abyssal Blade before he goes for anything else, and that gives Godaudio a chance to try and go for the Butterfly and have it be pretty relevant for him for a while.
Yeah, it's just a question like, do you want to be having the HPs to survive those crits, or do you want to be able to dodge the crits? Like, what item are you gonna force Loda to go for? And with the Basher, actually, you kind of need that HP. So you kind of need a Heart right now, rather than a Butterfly. But then you run into the next problem, as you already said. He needs items to do damage, and you know, you want to be able to do damage, so Butterfly would then be favorable again. As Alliance, they're just gonna push through mid. They have got that Aegis still, so they might just want to try and blow it, as TCM is pushing on the tier 2 top in the meantime, is the last, or the second last tier 2 tower standing there, but they are forced back right now because their tier 3 towers under attack, the fortification already up. And here comes the TPs. It's a bit late though, because this tier 3 tower might actually still go down before they're all here. Track goes off, waiting for the hook shot. Blinking Skewer does get Atsi in the end, and Atsi will be going down. There goes the hook though. Gets EGM in, gets Loda in, Blade Mill goes on, and Loda jumps himself out. Nice mana void though, burns the Aegis away. Aki is gonna be next. Nice blinding light, keeps himself alive for a little while longer. Blink in from S4 with the RP. Up on Audio, up on Blueberry Ninja. Blueberry trying to get out, won't be able to, or will be sent home just in time. Nicely done by Hawaii. Miranda goes down with one crit of Loda, who's still jumping in this fight. Alive, gets the gen, gets a double kill. In the meantime, Audio also dominating, able to pick up the Keeper of Light, still at the back of the fight. Ansi goes down for the second time in this fight. As S4 able to screw himself out, screws himself right into the Anti-Mage, and gets the dominating streak gold with that. And that is everybody of TCM going down, apart from the bounty hunter that got sent home, but by himself he can't do anything. And that, by the way, were 2 buybacks, I believe, on the side. Well, 2 buybacks in general. It was one Atsu that bought back, and the other one was the Rubik that bought back on the side of Alliance, who is already back here as well, because you have got that Keeper of Light that can just recall you if you want to. And they take the mid lane racks, and they now are going to take the bottom lane as well by the looks of it.
Yep, things definitely going well right now for Alliance winning that fight, and TCM kind of slipping pretty far behind. Go Audio just spent a lot of time in that fight running around trying to find supports.
Yeah.
And at that point he tried to fight Phantom Assassin after he was the only one left alive and just got completely destroyed, which is not really surprising. He can't just man fight against Loda right now, especially not with the Empower up on Loda. It's way too hard, and Phantom Assassin or Enemy just doesn't do that much to him not with a heart.
No, and I mean, they do end up burning the Aegis, which is great. Oh, hookshot in, gets himself EGM, but EGM, he stole a blink, gets himself out as well. Flare will chase him down, but doesn't end up killing him. Abyssal Blade now up on a PA. And right now, Alliance, they're just getting out of control. They picked up, like, they were behind for a long time. They looked to be locked in a corner. They picked up the kill on the Clockwork, and since then, they have been just unrelentlessly pushing hard on TCM. I mean, and I don't mean pushing in the terms of pushing down towers, but they've just been making sure that they are all over the map, and TCM can't really go anywhere. Hookshot hits up on Loda. What can he do in the meantime? Anti-Mage is able to pick up a kill there. Loda ends up able to run away from this. His Abyssal, he needs mana for that, and he doesn't have it. He might actually be having some trouble here. He still wants to use it, wants to get some crits, gets a bash, and that is a hookshot, Hand of God, and that kill goes to the Anti-Mage, who gets a double in the end from also still picking up the Keeper of the Light, which was way back here. And that's a good pickup for TCM, and maybe with that they can do some more, because there's no buyback up on Loda.
Yeah, and really kind of strange that Loda would chase that far without buyback up. He picked up a Hyperstone after the Abyssal Blade. He had a ton of gold. After winning that fight in the mid lane, they take 1.5 sets of racks to 2 tier 3 towers. But he just kind of really commits very hard trying to kill that Clockwork, and it doesn't work out, I think, the way he wanted to. Ends up dying, and gives another kill to Go Audio, gives TCM a chance to hang on. Though, once you're down by 2 sets of racks, things do look pretty bad for you. Not a lot of games that are won after you're down 2 sets.
No, though, I guess the ones that are won after you're down that much are the ones that have one hard carry that can totally make such things happen. And Anti-Mage is one of those carries. He did pick up a heart. He's got 2,700 gold. The question is he big? Because he doesn't just need a heart. He needs a butterfly too for the next fight if they want to be able to hold Alliance off this much. Is he going to be able to farm fast enough before Alliance goes again? Is Alliance going to wait for the next Roshan before going again? Because that's up in 1.5 minutes or so?
If I were Alliance, I think I'd be waiting for Roshan. There's no reason not to. They probably have to feel like they're ahead, and we can look at the graphs and see that they're at least a little bit ahead, even though they gave a little bit of it back with that death on the Phantom Assassin in the top lane. But Roshan should be pretty easy for them. Their team fight is very, very good on the back of Magnus, especially with Refresher Orb now, the empowered PA. And of course, Rubik has been getting some great spell steals off to be able to move around these fights. We don't really, I guess, look at EGM in a game that much like this, where there aren't a ton of big ults for him to steal. But the lifts with Blink can be very, very relevant, so he just keeps using those. And able to set up kills in the midst of the fight, move around, not get killed. And it's a very powerful play, even if it doesn't look as flashy as stealing something like a Ravage or a RP or anything like that.
Yeah, talking about RPs, we will see 2 in the fight, even though there won't be a steal, but there is a Refresher up on S4, so this next Roche fight, if TCM decides to fight there, which I think actually they're not, just because of that Magnus on the board. They will be looking into 2 RPs from S4. Very strong and very tough to fight. I mean, Anti-Mage, even though he has a heart, he might be able to stay alive during that RP, but his teammates won't be. Won't be able to.
Yeah, and they'll have to worry about that because once they're separated, none of them can really fight. They're not winning against this team with any one hero. Even Anti-Mage really.
Shot, EGM, might be in some trouble. Gets a stun and a test of fate, and will end up going down, swap in. S4 in some trouble. There comes Go Audio. RP still hits on Go Audio. Is a refresher there? No, there's no mana anymore. The Hand of God keeps Go Audio alive, and S4 in the end gets an RP. Goes down with it though, and Audio was able to blink himself away in time, but we'll still find Loda on his tail, and he kills him off. Loda with the double kill in the end jumps himself over to Hawaii, gets a bash, and gets a kill. That's a triple kill for Loda. In the meantime, a hook shot. Where did it hit? I heard it hit. It's on creeps. Well, okay, that's a hook shot away. Blueberry Ninja running for his life there as well, but that was a 2-for-3 trade, and that trade was definitely in favor of Alliance. They get themselves the Roshan, they get themselves a triple kill for Loda.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They do end up using both RPs.
Yeah, but they trade 2 RPs to win a team fight, and Magnus was dying anyways. And yeah, TCM just gonna call it. They ended the game. They lose that fight. They tried their best to take it there. They needed to really, but
yeah.
Annie just can't fight Phantom Assassin at this point. You really need an MKB to even really consider fighting Phantom Assassin, especially with the evasion being 40% now. That's a ton of evasion. And Amy just like watches as he swings wildly and never actually lands anything. So PA just kind of out carrying because they had 2 similar in terms of level of farm.
Yep. Well, of course, more of TCM, not today, but next week at DreamHack Summer. They will also compete there, just like Alliance, which is why they said see at DreamHack, because they'll both be there. Next game, though, we're going to see Alliance again. We're going to see Alliance taking on Virtus Pro, and that should be a really great match. So I'm hoping that my internet will hold. As you might have noticed, that was indeed at the start of the game my ISP that gave some issues, as I'm looking to change it after they decided today that it's something that they can't do anything about, which is of course not possible. Okay, he hacks as a creep, that's fun. We're waiting for this round to explode. StarLadder Season 6, day number 21. 4 games today, 1 game down, 3 to go. Alliance versus Virtus Pro, Fnatic versus Quantic, and Virtus Pro again versus Roxkiss, all coming up next, so don't go anywhere else. We are here for you. And of course we have K-poptosis as our statman for today, Kanaz is my co-caster for today, and I am Sheever. And you can all find us on Twitter at K-poptosis without the hyphen rather. We also have at Kanaz Dota on Twitter and at SheeverGaming on Twitter. So follow us there and stick around because we'll be right back with you with another game of Dota 2 for StarLadder Season 6.